All right, it's recording. Hey, everybody out there in YouTube, this is Sam Dennehy, aka Halfass Customs, and this is Halfass Presents the podcast. Our special guest today is David Roehrle. Roehrle? Um, David, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got in the hobby?
My name's Dave Roehrle, and I started building models around 1960. I built airplanes, and my dad crashed them. And so then I started building static models. And then when plastic kits got popular, I started building the different model cars, and then it just escalated from there. And I pretty much focused on model cars most of my life. And then I guess in the 80s, I started entering model contests. And then I got to where I was competing more and more and meeting more people. And then I got to Utah to the Salt Lake contest, entered some models out there, and then I got into my models into scale auto, and I did pretty good. And I think I kind of got to where the competition thing was getting to be a little overwhelming. Like all I was doing was building for competition and not building for myself. And then I moved from Maryland to Pennsylvania, and I was kind of building models sporadically and doing different things. I was building a lot of miniature birdhouses and stuff. And a guy that I had a side job painting apartments, and a guy and I were talking, and I told him that I could probably build a model out of just about anything, and he handed me a stick. And he goes, "Here, make something out of this." So the next day I showed up with a gas station. And that's kind of where Davetown started. And then from that, I just started building dioramas. That was in around 2004, I think. And since then, I built about 35 dioramas. And
Well, I
the
tell you
cars...
what, Dave, those are
The
amazing.
cars kind of go along with the dioramas, so it's
Right. A diorama would be really empty and lifeless without vehicles on it. I
yeah,
mean, why build a road if nothing was to go down it?
yeah, and just sticking cars on it just kind of takes the fun out of it. You know, I
Right.
like to build the cars too, and the cars give me a nice break between spending a long time on a diorama because I build slow, and then I can build a car. But building a vehicle is a completely different mindset from building a diorama. It's a whole different thing.
Right.
Unless you do it, it's hard to explain. But it's like,
Yeah, no, I get totally what you're saying because, I mean, it's a whole different set of tools. It's a whole different set of materials.
yeah,
And with a car, you could have a lot of extra parts and pieces, but it's different when you're building a building or the interior of a building because you're not just building a building. You're going to want to build the details of the interior. So now you got to get interior pieces. You got to get people. You got to get lighting if you want to go that far. It's so
yeah.
much more than just the vehicle.
It's like when I start a vehicle, it's like I have to have like my room clean, my bench clean, you know, the space I want to work in, like everything like laid out to where it's going to be put. Once I get building one, it's like I want to build a couple more. Like I like to build 2 or 3 vehicles in a row. It doesn't always happen. But
Yeah, me too.
like
I'll build like 10 to 20 in a row.
yeah, in a weekend.
Right, literally. That's awesome, Dave. That I didn't know you were building model cars way back when. I started 30 years ago in the model car world when I was 12, and I've been hooked ever since. I just switched from scale to scale. But I love this scale because what I do, kind of what you've definitely dabbled in quite a few times, the hot rod custom world, there's not a very many people doing hot rods and customs in this scale. So
Yeah.
I keep with it because nobody else is keeping with it.
Yeah. It's since they don't make Jordan kits anymore, it's
Yeah.
like parts, or like, where do I get parts now?
Well,
Yeah.
Louis did his best to try to take over where Jordan left off by just making resin kits that he sells of like the whole kit basically. And he's doing pretty good, although I haven't talked to him in quite a while, so I'm not sure how much he's selling, how much he's, resin creating, or resin casting of those. But he was my go-to as soon as Jordan stopped. I went straight to
Yeah.
him, and I gave him a whole bunch of kits that I had so he can make molds out of them, and
Uh,
that's who I went for.
I have a stash of maybe 10 that, that
Yeah,
I've had for a
I
while.
I have I kept all my empty Jordan boxes, and they're like climbing because I ran out of Lou's castings, so now I'm kind of stuck with what I have in my stash. And I'm scared to build them because I'm thinking, well, now there's another one gone. What if I go and
Yeah.
sell the one I just built? Then I literally don't have it anymore.
I like the Sullivan kits. I built a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Claire is amazing. I love
Yeah.
talking to him and I love his
Yeah,
product.
he's a nice guy. I like it. I met
Yeah.
him. I think I met him twice. I got let's see. I built a couple. Let's see this. I built this one of the movie cars that I built
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
from the movie Hot Rod,
Yeah.
1979.
Yeah. I watched that
Uh,
movie.
or
That was
it's
a good
also
movie.
Rebel of the Road, I think it was called. But
That's the version I saw, Rebel. It was Rebel. I believe it was Rebel of the Road. Yeah.
it was made for TV. It's one of my favorite movies. The slicks on here are I forget where they came from. Uh, they might have been from a GHQ dragster, maybe,
Oh, okay.
or J and L. That's what it was. J and L dragster.
I think you and Chester are the only ones that I've seen since I've been into this hobby, the scale hobby, that took not Nash, the Willys, and turned it into a gasser. Because I know Chester turned one into a gasser, and yours is the only other one I've seen into a
Yeah,
gasser. And I've been meaning to do that one day, but just hasn't happened yet.
I built another one. This is that one was the 41. This one's the 37. And just kind of made this one a custom.
Oh, nice.
I used
Yeah.
it's there's nothing really done to it, to the body or anything, other than cleaning up, painting. And I used the wheels off of a Hot Wheels.
Yep. Those are the perfect donor vehicles.
The Merc.
If you look back here, well, there's a huge glare, but the whole, let me see my finger, the whole top shelf of this display case right here where my finger is,
Yeah,
it's all Hot Wheels of every series. I think they were out for 3 years, and I've got one of each, if not several of each.
yeah. I have two shoe boxes.
Nice. Yeah, I keep collecting them because they're perfect for wheel donors for custom cars.
I went to a car show, and the guy was selling them at the flea market. He had a whole bunch of them, and he was selling them for $1.
Oh my gosh.
And
Jackpot.
and I was like, "How much you want for all of them?" And he goes, give me $20." And it was like 30 cars.
Nice.
And he gave me the box.
Awesome.
It's like, wow,
That's
that's
how
a
you
deal.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I know the Batmobile in that scale for Hot Wheels is like the most sought after one, and they're going for anywhere from 60 to $80, and I've got two of them. I'm not getting rid of neither of them.
I have one. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it.
Well, I got one in a trade that I traded like a regular scale Hot Wheel or several for, and then the second one, I think I ended up buying that one for like a lot more than I would normally pay for something. But
I
yeah.
paid way too much for one.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But they haven't
it's
gotten any cheaper, so I don't feel bad.
very true. And I don't think they will because that's the rarest of 187 scale Hot Wheels that is out there. Why, I don't know, but it is.
I saw one listed on eBay for 125,
Gosh.
and I saw all four of the what's it?
The Speed Racer cars? Yeah,
Yeah,
I just finally got those.
I saw all
Finally.
four of them for 250.
Oh, well, I've got the whole set. Maybe I need to sell. I picked
Maybe you
up
should hang
mine.
on to them.
I picked up, I won't lie. I picked up mine for $45 plus $10 shipping for
That's a good
all
deal.
four. Yeah, and I was
It's
blown away.
$10 a piece. So.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get outbidded. I was the only bidder. So I was like, holy crap, what? How'd that happen? Oh, well, people were sleeping. I don't know.
I have one. I got it. It was listed in the wrong place.
Oh, good.
It was like listed with dolls or something. I don't know. I
Oh, wow.
stumbled onto it.
Your score, though, so.
Yeah, it was like $5. So.
Shoot, that's great. That's how much they were in the store when they were in Toys R Us
Yeah.
and anywhere else they were selling them. So that's awesome. Well, Dave, I've been a huge fan ever since I first saw your stuff. I mean, all the dioramas you've made that I've seen all tell a huge story, not just a small story, but it's got so much volume in just one diorama. What, how do I say it? What makes you put that much detail and that much storytelling into one scene?
It's all about me. It's
Well,
kind of
for
like
instance, like your garage sale, that is one of the neatest diorama storytelling scenes I've ever seen, where you had all the antique stuff out front of the house, and the cars are driving by and people were buying stuff.
yeah.
That is one of the neatest things.
Everything that I built kind of relates to something that was around when I was growing up, pretty much, or when I was a kid. I grew up on the Chesapeake Bay, and
Okay.
there was so that's where the boat thing comes in. And there was the place where I grew up was really strange. It was just a different kind of place. And there was a place called the Near New Antique Shop.
That is strange.
Yeah, and I made the building where for my antique store looks like the house that was where the Near New Antique Shop.
Oh, that's cool.
I had to change the roof and stuff to make it, and add some stuff to make it look like that. But the basic building looked like a lot like the building that was there when I was a kid. It's not there anymore, but
Too bad.
And like places where I worked when I was a kid, just different things, and it's kind of all ties together.
Well, I'll tell you what, whenever you post something, if anybody didn't know it was you, or say somebody was sharing your post to another group or another page or something, your work speaks for itself. Like, we know, looking at that particular model, there might be only 2 people that built it, and you're definitely one of them.
Yeah.
So your craftsmanship is very good. Very, very good.
A lot of modelers, like, their models have like, it's their signature. They, you know, you don't have to know whose it is to know whose it is. You know.
Yeah. I wonder.
Like I
I
can,
wonder if I can
I
get
can.
myself a signature like that someday.
Well, you're getting there. Like I see pictures of cars, and I can tell that they're yours. You know?
Yeah, I'm the only crazy one doing it like that. So
But like you see, like friend Ken Hamilton, you can tell his models, and Chuck Doan,
that's.
he's like on his models are just crazy. His are just
I
out of this
honestly,
world.
in my humble opinion, I put you at the level of Ken. I don't know where you think you are compared to him, but I feel you guys are like the leading structure diorama storytelling model builders.
No thanks. I I always thought that Ken Hamilton was one of the best model builders out there.
Well,
I've
he
known him.
is, but I think you are too.
I try. But I've known Ken for a long time. We were friends for since the '80s.
Oh wow. Yeah, and the one of the neatest things is when I started my hot rod custom lowrider group on Facebook, I instantly put it out there to all the groups, and I was just hoping people would join, and Ken was one of the people that joined. You joined, and then Ken instantly, within like just weeks of that page being or that group being alive, he put the car cruise that he put together and had people from all over the world,
Yeah,
send in his cars. And I know you sent, I believe
too.
he told me you sent in, yeah. And it was before my time, before I was into this scale. And it irks me so much to know I wasn't part of that, because that is one of the neatest things I've ever seen in any modeling ever,
that
to do
that
that.
was so much fun.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks
and
like fun.
it's stretched out for a long time, and every day I couldn't wait to get home to get onto the forum and look and see what Ken had done with the different stuff, and
Yeah,
it was just great, and to see who sent stuff and what you know, he was posting
right, right.
pictures of everybody's cars as they were coming in.
Yeah, that, I mean, he made this diorama tell so much story, and just posing the cars different ways, putting the figures in different scenes, and it was amazing. I
Yeah,
loved that thing so much. And
but
so, oh,
he makes HO scale figures look like our friends, which
right, yeah, right.
and it's
Like
like, how did he do that? You know?
he's amazing. And it I asked him if he ever planned on doing another one, because I would 100% be part of it, and I'd do everything and anything I could to help promote it, or put it on or whatever. He said he wasn't going to do another one because I guess the initials of that was him and his wife or something,
Yeah,
or and yeah, he says he's not going to do another one. So I am in the works. It's so slow, but I'm in the works to try and do my own version of that. And once I'm trying to build a parking lot, a modern day parking lot that's like 4x2 size parking
okay,
lot. And it's going to be a modern day parking lot with like the little dividers in it with trees and whatnot. I'm going to try and make it look real, so it looks like a present day car show um, in a city. So once I have the module diorama set for that with the lights and everything working, I'm going to put it out there that I'm throwing a car show. And I want to take over where he left off, kind of, and ask anybody that wants to participate. Definitely, I'll ask you too. And to send me their cars, and I'll put it into a car show scene. But it's going to be a little while because I'm super slow with trying to
yeah,
build this parking lot.
it's a lot of work.
Right. Well, I don't mind the work, and I don't. I want to do it. I've been wanting to do it ever since I saw his car cruise. That just set me over the moon, thinking that's what I got to do. I've got to try my own version. And I
Yeah,
mean, I've built so many custom cars that I pretty much do that anyways on every little diorama I built. But I want to do it with other people's cars. I don't want to just have my cars fill up the whole entire picture cruise. I want other
yeah.
people to join in.
With with when Ken did it, everybody on the forum, we, we would talk about it every day on
Oh,
the
that's
forum.
awesome.
So it was kind of like an ongoing thing. So
Yeah.
it just, I think it just it wasn't really planned. It just happened pretty much.
Well, it happened in glorious perfection.
Yeah. Did you see the video
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it?
he sent me that. Yeah. I would I want to, and I think he said he made like stickers or made keychains or made plaques or he made
Yeah.
stuff to go along with it to send out to the people. I want to do that too. So once I have everything ready,
Yeah.
that's
Hang
when
on.
I'll put it out there.
Yeah. I got the keychain,
Oh, that's so cool.
and we got T-shirts. Um, there's some. I got a box of junk. I don't know,
From
it's
that
just
car
like,
cruise.
yeah, it's like um, I don't know, some bead things and some wood. And he sent me the teeter totter because my
Oh,
truck
really?
broke the teeter totter.
That's awesome.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's it's so neat because see, I grew up in Southern California where classic cars are king out there. There's a car show within 200 miles every single weekend all year long in Southern California. And that's what I grew up with. So when I came into this scale and started building hot rods customs, I brought that image of Southern
Yeah,
California with me. And that's like all I care about. I don't care about building some stock car. I don't care about building some commercial construction vehicle of any kind. I love hot rods, customs, and lowriders. And that's I build to show off. Like if you were driving down the street and you saw a bunch of custom car show stuff in a parking lot, that's what I build for is today's car show scene. And that's what I want to try to once I get t-shirts or whatever I decide to make for this car show and the diorama that I build for it, I'll put the word out and everybody will have a chance to be part of it.
okay, let me know. I'll do it.
I'll
I'll build
definitely
something.
will because I saw the I want to say it might be your last hot rod custom of that pickup truck with the huge blower motor in the back that's based off of a real truck that somebody built somewhere in this
Yeah,
country. That was amazing. The fact that you beat me to the punch too, that's what was even more amazing because I had plans to build that.
this one.
Oh, no, not that. Okay, so my bad. I had a brain fart that you built that and that's your recent. The it's like a semi truck
Yeah,
with the
that's
big huge blower motor behind the cab. But that one that you just brought out, I love that one. That is
yeah, me
probably my
too.
favorite one you built because of the belly tank salt flat racer on the bed. Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah,
I've been dreaming of wanting to do that since forever. And you did it before me again.
yeah. I know which one you mean.
And I know that that truck has a name. I have no idea what that name is. And I don't know where in
Uh,
this country they built that truck at, but I
Stubby
know it's in
Bob.
this country. Yeah, that's it.
Stubby Bob. It's
Yeah. And
that's
you beat me
roadkill.
to it. Yeah, I
Um,
knew I had a feeling it was them. I just didn't want to say it without having the, 100%. But you just 100%ed it for me. Yeah, Roadkill built that.
I know it's in here.
And it was on my list to build. I just never did it, and I still haven't.
So this one.
There it is. Like that thing is just crazy awesome. And it's just
That,
for the simple fact that it's a real car and it's made to do wheelies. That's why the big
yeah,
engine is behind the cab and so close to the rear wheels. It's a wheelie stander.
I was. I wasn't. I didn't really have intentions to build this, but then I was going through some stuff, and I had 4 of these IMAX trucks, and it's like, oh, that's a truck from same body as the roadkill truck. And it's like, well,
Nice.
and then I had a dragster, and it's like a top fuel dragster that's not 1/64 scale and not HO scale. So
Oh, perfect.
the
Fits right
engine
in the
block
middle.
was like not the scale, but it worked
Yeah.
for the truck.
It,
So I'm like, it's
and
like,
it
well,
really
there
does.
it
I
is.
mean, that's besides that latest one with the belly tanker, that's like my second favorite vehicle you built lately. Definitely lately. Because that was one of the main drives of me being a fan of yours, is because you also took your hand in building hot rods and customs. And I love that, because that's obviously already what I'm behind. I'm 100% behind that movement. And to see other people tried it and built it, like Chester's built quite a few of them, not a whole ton of them, but he's definitely 2 handfuls of customs and hot rods he's done. And you've built quite a few. And several other people have built some. And I love being able to see when they try it and succeed, because there's not
Yeah.
enough people building those, in my opinion.
Probably my favorite that I've done, I think, is probably the Willies from the the movie, the primered Willies. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorites. And the house truck that I built. I don't know, just
Oh, yeah, that thing is amazing. I had to think about it. But yeah,
yeah.
that thing is so neat. And it's got to be scratch built, right? Like the house part of it. Or did you have a
The,
kit somehow?
this one.
Yeah, that thing is awesome.
It's all scratch built except for the hood and the front fenders. But
Because
I
I
scratch
know
built everything else.
I know shortly after I saw you posting on Facebook, I saw that you were posting YouTube videos of your how to build, not how to, but of your progress of building those. And I do remember that. It was a long time ago that I seen that video, so I couldn't remember if it was a
Yeah.
kit or if it was all scratch built. But yeah, that thing is awesome.
Yeah. This was like, it's one of those things. I got an idea. And then it's
Right.
like nine months later, it's like, so.
Yeah, I had that same thing. Check this out. I saw this on the internet. I saw a Volkswagen bus. Let me turn this camera around. I saw a Volkswagen bus, and I happened to have a Volkswagen bus. And then I went to a train shop, and I found this camper truck. And I said, let me take the camper off and put the VW bus
Oh,
on the
that's
front of
cool.
it. And I slammed it, and boom, there's a VW camper.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do some stuff with the VW or some. I was thinking about some custom vans too.
Yeah, like 70s style vans? Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about? I
Yeah.
know Joseph, I think his last name's Bivens. He's been doing a lot of modern day buildings, like fast food restaurants and whatnot. He was getting into that custom 70s van look. He I don't think he did much yet, but he's definitely into it and he wants to do more. So that seems to be in the car world the new rise in vehicles, is the 70s look. Who would have thought the 70s would come back, but they're definitely coming back.
I guess I've been seeing a lot of like 70s style car stuff.
Right. Well, the
Cars like,
gasser scene, the 70s gassers are coming up big time in the hot rod drag car world.
yeah.
Those paint jobs, and then just restoring old, like forgotten 70s drag cars people are starting to do now too. Crazy.
Yeah. That's
But Dave, I've been a big fan ever since I first saw your stuff. I keep saying that. I love your work. Um,
thanks.
In your town, what more in the future do you see yourself building, creating, thinking about? Or do you even think about anything for the future for
Yeah,
your town?
I have a whole list of stuff. Um, I have a list.
Oh, geez.
Um, I've been working on a house. I built this. This was a kit. Um, I didn't do anything to it. It wasn't with the kit, but I used the leftover parts to build a shed.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
And then I'm building this. This is an old store. This is still in the works. So this is. I think these two things are probably going to be on a diorama with a skeleton.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
I got a big skeleton. I'm gonna have like I guess an archaeological dig kind of thing.
Oh, that's neat. I love that idea. And that's one cool thing about your models too, your dioramas. They're not all the same. They all have a separate individual story, even though they're linked together because there's Dave's Town. They all tell their own little story.
Yeah.
That's very creative. I mean, all my stuff, all my car shops, they're all the same story. It's the evolution of me. And it's all hot rod shops. But yours, there you have houses, you have stores, you have the old KFC that has been run down and abandoned for years. They're all individual and they all tell their own story, even though they're
Boy,
connected to you.
boy, did I catch hell for the KFC? Oh my
I love
God.
that thing. I thought that thing was awesome. Old used kit that everybody's built. You turned it
Yeah.
around and made it something better.
It's like a $5 kit that I
Right,
got at
right.
a train show. And I put it on some of the model railroad forums, and I just got beat to death for
Wow.
building it that way.
Those
It's
people
like,
don't know what they're talking about
and
clearly.
the one guy said that he's talking about the sign being up, that the sign would have come down, and it's like, no, it wouldn't. Um,
Maybe in a major city it would have, but if you were in a
no,
small town, it would have just stayed
well,
there.
for one thing, when a place goes out of business, they don't care about the sign.
Not necessarily.
A
Yeah, you're
corporate,
right.
a corporation, they want to keep the sign up as long as possible, and it costs money to take a sign down, and you need permits to put a sign up, and you usually need permits to take one down.
Oh
And
wow.
people aren't going to pay to, if they're out of business, they're not going to have to pay to have the faces flipped. And I've
Right.
been inside a KFC sign, and I know that you can't flip the faces on the signs that were made in those years, because they have a plastic hanger on the top that the sign actually hangs inside the box. And this guy's messing with me. It's like, I was in the sign business for 30 years, dude. You're
I know what
messing
I'm
with the
talking
wrong
about.
guy. It's like,
Well, I know not just because I'm a fan, but because I'm a modeler myself, and I admire other people's models when done very well. All those people that gave you hate have no idea what they're talking about.
well, it's like, it's a model. Don't lose any sleep over it, you know? It's
Right.
like,
And on top of that,
who
it's not
cares?
just a model. You made it into a master kit. Like that thing with the right lighting, the right background, which you usually do, that thing looked real. Like it
Yeah,
looked like you would see that today behind an old rusted fence that they left because they didn't want to build over it or tear it down.
yeah. I made it look like, it looks like something like crashed through the roof,
Yeah.
because it has
And
a
I
hole in
love
the
it.
roof and a tree growing through the roof. So,
Right. I love it because from coming from the West Coast, I moved to North Carolina and we've been out here for 12 years now. I never seen so many old abandoned buildings and houses and just stuff left that the people that owned it never cared to do anything else with it. And now it just sits and rots and has
yeah.
brush growing all around it, trees. You can't even drive next to it because it's so far gone. And it's just, that's what that building reminded me of, is some stuff that I see around my state that I live in.
There's a lot of that kind of stuff around where I live.
I think the whole East Coast is probably filled with that.
Yeah.
Because on the West Coast, you don't just leave it, you'll tear it down and then build right over it something new. Nothing is left to just rot out there.
It would. The steel industry was really big here, and when the steel industry kind of fell apart, all the little businesses around it went out of business, and a lot of them were just falling down, buildings, and
right.
There's everything from people that like manufacturing to like food places. I think there's one place, I think it was a A&W root beer or something. It's just completely engulfed in plants and trees and stuff.
Wow,
you can't even really tell what it is, but it's like something, a plant grew inside and pushed one of the windows out. You know?
That's neat, because like if you had unlimited funds and you had the want and the desire to do, you could buy that place, build it all brand new like it was back when it was brand new, and bring back that old vintage look to, your town or something.
Yeah.
I wish more corporations would do that with old stuff that's still standing. Like, even if you did have to tear it completely down, rebuild it to the way it was, so you still have that vintage look in your modern city or something, to remember the nostalgia days. Because I know, like literally about 5 miles from my house, there's an old abandoned drive-in that they took down the big screen. They bulldozed over the snack bar where they would play the movie from. And it's just a vacant, overgrown parking lot now that you're not allowed to go in. And I would love to have won the lottery to make that new again, to bring back the nostalgia and have like classic car night. Any classic car rolls in, get in free.
There's a drive-in just a couple miles up the road from me, drive-in movie theater. I don't know of any others around.
They're dwindling, which is sad. More corporations should try to bring that back. I doubt they would, but they should.
Yeah.
Because there's no experience like it, to be sitting in your car, especially say like in an old station wagon with the tailgate down and the speakers on the windows. I would love to bring that back. Get all modern speaker system and electrical systems in those poles with those speakers, and they can still hang on your window with maybe like rubber padding so you don't scrape your window, but with Bose system speakers in it, so you still have the movie theater sound just in a small package. God, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
But it takes money, and I don't have it. But I thought about also building a drive-in movie theater module, like a big movie theater, and actually have sound and like maybe an iPad playing a movie connected to the movie screen, but I haven't done that yet.
I saw one. Guy at the NNL had one in 1/25th scale.
Wow. I bet that was in small.
It was maybe 3 feet by 5 feet. It's pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, that's not as big as I was thinking it should be, but at the same time, it's not small either. So
no,
that's crazy. Yeah, I feel like personally, in my opinion, I was definitely born in the wrong decade. I feel like my teenage years should have been the 50s, so I could have been a greaser, because I love that era of cars and hot rodding and drive-ins and everything about the 50s. Car-wise and look-wise. I don't really care about the politics back then, but yeah, for definitely cars, that's my time period. Love the 50s.
Yeah, I like 50s cars.
But yeah, I'm glad I had you on here because I've only ever talked to you through like Messenger or just commented on your photos and whatnot. And I love that you've created your own little town in diorama form because even people that build layouts, like full on layouts, they don't build it to like dedicated to them, like a Dave's town. They just try to build like an era in time,
Yeah.
like 1950s, 1970s, or whatever, but they don't build their town the way they want it with their logo and their name on a lot of buildings, saying, I'm so rich and involved in this town that I own everything.
Yeah.
You've kind of captured that neat little niche in the hobby that not a lot of people do. And I think it's so cool that you do that.
Yeah. I think my stuff it didn't start out that way, but I think everything turned out a little bit different from everybody else's.
Yeah,
So
no, it did, and I think that's a good thing because some people may say it's not a good thing. I think it's a good thing because I mean you have yourself. You lay out all those dioramas, you put them together. You have your own little town, Dave's town. I
yeah,
mean, no, not very many people can say that. They have huge layouts with different desert scenes or woodland scenes or whatever, but they don't have their own town on their layout. And you think if you're going to build this huge layout in a basement or something, why wouldn't you make it yours? You know,
yeah,
why build New York City when you could have Sam's New York or something,
yeah,
or
yeah.
Dave's
Why not?
Staten Island?
Yeah,
That never made sense because like every one of my dioramas, I put my half-ass customs on it. I need people to know that this exists and this is something to be reckoned with.
yeah,
And I know I was telling you off the recording that I thought when I was younger I was going to make a Sam's Town because in Las Vegas there is a Sam's Town, although I think it's just a casino. But when I was young going there, I thought it was an actual town. And then every time we travel cross country, because I don't really care to look at it any other way, I look for street names or signs or insignias of some kind that have my initials or my actual name on it. Because we were driving through Arizona one time and I saw like two streets in two different cities with the name Samuel on it. I was like, Samuel Street? Oh, that's awesome. I got to do that on my own town. Like
yeah.
every street has some kind of variation of my name or something. So everybody would definitely get lost in it. Yeah, just turn right on Samuel and then turn left on Sam's and then turn right on Samuel Adams or something. You all get lost.
That'd be pretty
So
neat.
it would be neat, but I'm not going to do it. As much as I plan to do is modules like the movie set here and then my garage set here, it'd just be one street, maybe two going this way, and just a bunch of like individual scenes telling a little story, kind of like your dioramas, but mine will just be a module form. So I could have like cars just laying along the wall or something. I don't know.
Mine
Because I
kind
don't
of got
plan on
out of
building a layout.
Mine kind of got out of hand. I'm running out of room to keep stuff.
Well, I mean, with your quality of builds and the amount that you have, yeah, I could see that. um, oh, I did want to offer my services. If you need any place to store some stuff in the future, let me know. I'll
Okay,
proudly display it.
okay,
Because if you see back here, I've got two display cases. One's there, or one's there and one's there. And then I have all this here, and I'm planning on having more. I have a huge display case in my garage that doesn't even fit in the house. So I'm more than willing to help you out, Dave.
okay.
Um, but with all this being said, we kind of, I think, went through everything I can think of, like where you're going in the future, what you have plans, where you've been, and where you're at with that 1920s truck with the speed racer, not speed racer, but the salt flats racer on the back. Um, I think we kind of captured everything for now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I try to end some of my podcasts with, do you have any advice for, say, new modelers? And I will honestly say I consider you a master modeler.
Yeah.
Whether you think you are or not, that's my opinion. And
Uh,
I don't hold that to a lot of people.
I
Um,
don't think I am. It's like,
well, I
it's,
consider you one. So there you go.
thank you.
um,
Um,
do you have any advice you would, any wisdom you would give to, like, say, people just joining into this scale hobby?
uh,
If
no,
not, don't worry about it, but I
I
ask
just
anyway.
enjoy it, you know, have, and don't worry about what other people think. Just do stuff that makes
Right.
the way you want to do it. Make
That,
yourself
that
happy
that's
doing it.
that's definitely a big key point, is
And
don't worry about what other people think as
and
long as you're happy with it.
learn from your mistakes. I mean, that sounds cliche, but it's
I mean, it's
I,
true though. Definitely true.
I've screwed up so much stuff,
I think we all have.
and
Definitely we
that
all have.
it's I've worked. I spent 10 years working as a model builder. That was my job, and one of the things that I've mastered was when I screwed stuff up, that I was able to fix it. So, and
But that's the key, is don't give up
it's,
on it just because you screw up on it.
just because you like you messed up a part, make a new one. You messed up the paint, do it again.
Right. Yeah, no, that's great advice. That's good wisdom advice, because I mean, so many people maybe just starting the custom building or the modeling, say they were a collector for years and years and they finally want to build something of their own. That's definitely the first thing they could get discouraged with, is if they mess it up, they just say, I'm done. I
Yeah,
obviously can't pull this off.
I
I
get,
can't make it the
and
way I want. So,
I get, I still screw up stuff, and I got. Wait a minute.
uh-oh, here comes the
This
screwed up stuff.
this is a kit that I bought, and I
Oh,
was
wow.
excited about it. It's
Yeah, it glows in the dark. That's
no, it
neat.
doesn't glow in the dark.
Oh, well, it
It's
looks like it
black,
does.
but it's a skill level 2.
And you
And
messed that up?
no, but
Oh,
I can't put it together.
no kidding.
I, I gave up.
That's
I totally gave up. It's not getting done.
that's so funny you say that. Check this little story out. I'll give you. You might have seen it. Maybe I posted it and you've seen it. I took my daughter to a regular model car show, an NNL East car show in my state, and she was bored with all the cars on the table because she didn't have nothing to display. So she went to the swap meet side of the show, found a level 5 Ravel VW21 window bus that had everything open, and the body itself came in 6 pieces, just the
Yeah, I've
body.
seen that kit. I've seen that
And
kit.
it, yeah. And she said, Dad, can I get this? I said, I've never built a level 5 in my 30 years of building, and you want to build one for your first car? She goes, yeah, Dad, I think if you help me, we can do this. So I was like, okay. We spent the $30 on the kit, and we built it in over about 3 weeks. And I'd say she did half of it, definitely half of it. She cut out the parts, and we sanded the little clip pieces off where they're molded into the skeleton of the frame. Um, and then I taught her how to paint, and then her finger would get tired of holding the spray can down. So I'd finish the paint, but she definitely started. And then I did the glue, and then she would put the pieces on where they went, because I didn't want her to get glue all over her hand. And then she peeled the decal off, put it on the car, and I just placed it where it went. So she did half, and I did the other half, but it was the simple fact that she wanted to do a level 5
Yeah, it's great.
model, and I've never even done a level 5 model. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And you're
Yeah,
saying that's a level
I
2.
can't do a level 2.
That's crazy to think that, but hey, it doesn't matter, because You're still a master modeler in my book.
Yeah, it's like I can't do it. I don't know. It's like too complicated. It's a bad kit. Yeah,
I
nothing
honestly I thought that
nothing
VW
fits.
was a bad kit because if you close everything up, it doesn't match up. And that's
Yeah,
built the stock way. We didn't customize anything and we didn't do anything special to it. So I thought that was a bad kit. But in the end, if you leave everything open and it's all painted up with the lights underneath, it looks great. Just don't close it.
that kid I think is for 12 and up.
Wow.
You have to be over 12.
Well, I know Junior Berg. I talked to him a couple of days ago, and he's building the Roehrle Big Boy model train.
Yeah, the train.
And he seems to not be doing too bad so far. I don't know what level scale that is. I've never built that kit, but he's doing pretty good so far.
I, I've I've seen it built, and I think it's probably a pretty well made kit.
Probably.
I
I've
think
seen
it's made
plenty of
in
them built.
Germany.
I
Um,
think Revell is out that way either way. So,
I think it's one of their German kits, and I think it has a lot of parts, but I think it's a good model.
well, hopefully we'll probably see it soon. I'm sure he'll be posting
Yeah,
updates or post a completed one. But other than that, Dave, uh, I think this went pretty well. I think we covered most of the important parts.
yeah,
Um, and in the future, if you're willing, I'd love to have you back on the podcast, maybe next year or maybe later this year or something. Build something
sure.
new. We can talk about it. Or
Anytime, anytime you
cool.
want.
Yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed talking to you. I enjoyed
Yeah, me
seeing
too.
you. This was great. And I'm going to sign off the recording and sign off the podcast. You can stay on and we can talk a little bit if you want. But
Okay.
everybody out there, this is Sam Dennehy, Halfass Customs, and this podcast is over. Y'all have a good day.